Been a long time since I stopped showing my video reviews and tutorials. It's just for some little things, but now I'm back to give you full reviews and tutorials. Now, today we're going to talk about the fan of C230 Mercedes-Benz Kompressor. I've made some videos on C230, the common issues of C230 that has to do with its pedaling and all that. But this time around, I want to talk about something very important, something that can happen and go wrong any moment, especially when it is raining. I've had issue of changing this particular component like 3 times, sometimes making a mistake of washing the engine and destroyed this particular component of this car. Now I want you to be aware of it so that you don't be taken by surprise when this thing happens. So now I'm talking about the fan of the engine fan, cooling fan of Mercedes-Benz C230. Okay, look at this. This is a fan. It's a huge component. I've removed it from the car so that you can see it very well. Can you see that? Now, this is the controlling unit of the fan. If you turn this way, you see it also. Now, this is where the socket goes in from. Now, this is the main fan itself that moves to cool the radiator, the condenser, and other things in the car. So when you look at this, you can see that it is all in one. The fan engine, or let's say the fan motor is here. Then the controlling unit is here too. Now, where the problem is this controlling unit. When you are driving this car, this controlling unit is downwards like this. Now, this is the part you're looking at is the part that faces the engine. And the fan turns towards the engine, like sending the air inward from the outside. So this part, which is the controlling unit of this fan, this part is the one that controls the speed of this fan, depending on the temperature of the engine, the fan, or if your AC is on, like the air conditioner is on. This is what controls the fan through the ECU, the electronic control module, and all that. So this thing is allergic to water. Now, under your engine, you notice there's a plastic covering. Under the engine, there's a plastic covering that protects some of the components that don't allow water to get into them. That plastic cover is very important, because the last time I was driving and somehow I got into a rainy day, and they're kind of a little flood on the floor, and I tried to pass it with this, and this controller was flooded. This particular unit stopped working, and when this thing happened, I got an error message on the dashboard and I had to start speeding home. I was lucky. As soon as I got home, the car stopped. So this thing is very important to note, so that you make sure, one, that the plastic under the engine is always there. Make sure after your technician has finished working on your car, maybe you change the oil or you did some other maintenance and the cover is left outside where it's supposed to be, please make sure it is placed back and secured properly, because things like this are at risk and this stuff is very expensive. It costed me about let's say like $200 to replace, and it's not easy to, and it's for a used component, not the brand new one. It's a used one that I was able to buy for $200. So you can imagine the cost of this thing, and you can't just play with it. And the problem is that it can take you by surprise anytime, especially when the rain is falling. Then another thing is when you want to wash the engine, this part, I try to use a pressure washer, and I bought some time ago. I use it to wash the body of the car, the underneath of the car, to remove the muddy portions of dirt. And I try to use it to wash the engine, and I destroyed this thing in the process. That was the fourth time I had to change this component. In fact, I practically forgot, and by the time I remembered, I knew something was going to go wrong, and lo and behold, something went wrong. So you have to be careful when you're using your Mercedes C230. Please make sure you don't let water to get into this component, or you may have to replace it, because it may stop functioning. The first thing it will do, it will go high speed, from high speed, and it will go numb, and nothing from the fan anymore. So please, this is what I want to cover in this review and this tutorial for today. So please be mindful of this in your car. Okay, but I'll try to show you exactly where this thing is in the car, so that you be vigilant. At least you have a full knowledge of what to do and how to protect from something like this happening. Okay, so let's go to the car and see what the thing looks like. Now you can see the car parked here. This is the car right here. So let me pop up the hood to show you what I'm talking about. Okay, let me see if I can do it with one hand. Yeah. Okay, now this is the engine of the C230. You can see, I'm sure you're familiar with this right now. Now the fan we're talking about is here. If you look at this, let me just remove this and show you exactly what I'm talking about. Okay, so this is the fan right here. I don't know if you can see it properly. It's quite sunny here, and so this is the fan, and this is the fan blade. Then when you come here, down here, that's where the socket is, just right inside here. Okay, so that's the fan. This is the fan. Okay, so if you watch very well, you see the fan. I'm just trying to counter the reflection of light so that it can be pure, very visible. So if you look down there, you see where the socket is. You see some wires running from there. That's where the socket actually sockets into that place where the controlling module is there. So you can see it is downwards. is towards the floor, where maybe when you go into a floody environment, this particular component can actually be destroyed. Okay, so that's the component I want you to see, just to show you the entire engine and the car. Then of course the plastic under has to be secured properly. So okay, now we're done with the car. We've seen where this thing is, and we've seen other explanations. Tutorials and reviews are coming your way. Please like and subscribe. Just down there, please like and subscribe, and also hit the bell button so that you get notifications when I post the next one. So I believe you love Tech Loam, and I believe you're going to come back, because important things are going to be talked about, this car and the other cars too, that I'll be reviewing very soon. So have a nice day, subscribe, and keep safe.